My name is Arthur. There are those who wish to battle that which they feel is battling them. They wish to fight that which they feel is suppressing them or represents a force that perhaps will make their lives miserable. Perhaps they feel that they should protest and share and unite in their voices against the forces or powers that they deem to be unacceptable, and that their right is their right, and they must therefore be right. And perhaps this interaction has been happening for many centuries, perhaps thousands of years. That where there is oppression or perceived oppression by any side of any campaign, such as obviously is occurring in your country, in your republic, for certainly it is not a true democracy, is it? You are living in a republic, and you are awakening to this fact. And how you choose to perceive this experience as good or bad is up to you. For it matters not whom you have supported in your election process. What matters to you is how you feel and how you understand that which has occurred, whether you deem it to be in the flow of the universe or against the flow of the universe. Perhaps you should then question if anything that is against the flow of the universe or reality can be permitted or even occur. Perhaps you feel that death is against the flow of the universe. Perhaps you have certain criterion that you put upon death, that death can only happen in certain circumstances, the best of which would be to die or transition into the next dimension that you perceive as death through old age. And it must be a ripe old age. But any other type of death is against the flow of the universe. If suffering occurs, if dis-ease occurs, if murder occurs, then it is against that which you feel is right. And you battling against this insurmountable force that you perceive as reality, called death. Though in some of your spiritual understanding you are coming to realize there is no such thing as death. If there indeed is no such thing as death, then how can there be anything else that is not part of the universe that is known to you? Perhaps this saddens you or angers you that you must physically die. Remember that physicality is a perception. For perhaps you believe that that which you cannot perceive with your five senses is the non-physical. If you cannot hear it, see it, smell it, taste it, and so on and so forth, then it is in the non-physical. When actually it is simply not being able to be perceived by your five physical senses. Therefore you deem it to be in the non-physical, when rather it is in the non-perceived. What else is it that exists that is non-perceived by you? Is it your eternal being? Is it the eternal validity of you as a soul? Is it that you indeed create your reality and your universe as you are collectively thinking and individually thinking all at the same time? Is it too confusing for you to think that all of these forces can be happening at once? For if all of these desires are then shooting from each and every one of you, what is the deciding factor of what reality occurs. Then what is reality, other than how you feel? That is your reality. How you feel is your reality. In any situation, death, for example, is celebrated by some remaining tribes on your planet. They celebrate, in fact, in not too long ago times, in tribes. They were wishing to transition from their bodies. They were wishing to be sacrificed by the holy man who then would send them to the next dimension. They were vying for the spot to lose their heads. Therefore they begin the journey. Into where? When they are going out there, where are they really going? They are going in there. Where is there? Into yourself, your experience, to the idea of leaving your body. For what purpose? For every purpose. For no purpose. For you to have your realizations. And why should you even have realizations? Perhaps you are tired. Perhaps you are at the end of your rope. Perhaps you have been in many battles and you have grown weary. Perhaps you have developed a very keen sense of judgment, or a very foolish one. Perhaps judgment itself is foolish, for you do not know what anything truly is, do you? You have identified this as a wooden table, yet you do not know what wood is. You say that it is made from a tree that comes from the ground, yet you do not know what the ground is or where it comes from. You simply are living your lives based upon your theories of what you think everything is. And so your entire reality is based upon assumptions that you collectively feel are working for you, such as the table is a solid. And yet any one of you who would delve into a psychedelic experience would see that the solidity of this table is an illusion, for you would then see it in matter disintegrating before your eyes. There is space between every atom, and if you are traveling at a subatomic level, then you may pass your hand through the atoms called this table. You may walk on water, you may walk through walls. And if you are not interested in doing this in the perceived physical action of it, then you may walk on water or move through walls metaphorically in your own life. What would be required would be for you to see that nothing is wrong intrinsically. During this change of perceived leadership, indeed a perceived change, in your country this week, there are those who wish to go and protest. And they feel very good about doing it. And if you are going to do something, feel good about it. And what is it that you are feeling good about? Is this good feeling the same kind of good feeling as sitting under a tropical paradise, sipping something sweet? Which would you rather do? Fight against something, or go and feel what you wish to feel? As you examine these two choices, notice where you are judging what is actually doing something and what is doing nothing. Perhaps you think that by protesting you are doing something, and perhaps you think by sitting in an island paradise sipping your drink you are doing nothing. Is that so? Or perhaps it is the other way around, that by protesting you are doing nothing at all. except exclaiming how right you are and how wrong they are. All on the assumption that your president has power. And yet, anyone with any sensible observation of the last 60 years would see that they have no power, that they are answering to other authorities. What is confusing here to you? You are enjoying the personality or not of the person there. That is it. They are a figurehead for you to feel good, while other things are occurring. Is the universe out of control? Has something happened where these forces then have entered the universe and have taken control of your nation and your government, some secret force, and you are the victim of it? Or are you the victim of your own mind that is run amok? Your own tyranny inside of yourself? How are you speaking to yourself? What is the internal dialogue happening? Is it struggle? Are you correcting yourself with no mercy or compassion or encouragement? Are you waiting for something to happen for you to feel better? For someone to say something to you, to convince you of your own validity? Who is this tyrant inside of you? Do not worry about the one who is being sworn in. What is occurring that over time you shall see the fruitlessness of this endeavor? And as the individual awakens and begins to live a life and not afraid of death, then you shall see change and evolution. Yet you are, most of you, still worried whether a man can marry a man or a woman can marry a woman. This is where you are. And yet you are expecting peace outside of the borders. And so while the machines are running, do not be afraid that the forces that are controlling your government are against you. Everything that is happening is for you, even though they may feel they are controlling. Something else is occurring. The awakening of the individual. And you need not protest that. Keep creating what you are creating. Put your energy into that. For any fight, even if you win and defeat another, they simply will gather their forces over time and come back at you. But if you then choose to create something else, your time is well spent. The fight will not do you good. There has been no overthrowing of anything and no battle without lives lost. And many of these battles did not result in good for everyone, for even your own country is suffering from only a few hundred years since slavery. You are, in this nation, a wonderful experiment of souls that have come together. There is no other nation quite like it in this experiment. The experiment is done by all of you who have come to experience life here. Under one, perhaps, umbrella of being called American. And to redefine many things for yourself. To redefine whether you are, if you are physically ill, whether you say you are sick or you say that you are recalibrating. How are you? You may say you are sick, or you may say that I am recalibrating. How you speak to yourself shall shape and change your reality. If you believe times are hard, they shall be hard. If you believe you are in the wonderful midst of a revolution, evolution, and rebirth of yourself, so it shall be. And that is why in the beginning there was the Word. From that utterance, reality then was created. And remind yourself the only reality that is reality is how you feel. It is not that you wish for $1 million and suddenly it is there and that is reality. For you may have that, but the reality may be that you are unhappy at the moment. Or you are now miserable because you cannot hold on to this $1 million. Worried about how long it will last you. And so, your peace and your freedom comes from the spontaneity of all of the moments of your day, from morning to night, and even in your dream state. The spontaneity of experience. And your endless possibilities of reactions and creations. What an interesting word. Reaction and creation, only to change the letters around. Many such words exist in your language. The slightest change, and the meaning changes. The slightest shift in the position of a body, the tilt of a head, can change the meaning of the expression and your perception of an individual. If a person is slouching and suddenly sits up and only moves their shoulders back a tad, your perception of them changes, and their perception and their energy within themselves changes as well. So you are beginning to observe yourselves. Perhaps you need to observe yourself through the observation of others. And for that purpose, those who are in the public eye, including your politicians and presidents, will then be regarded as the focal point for the observation of certain human behaviors, manners of speech, and that which you feel to be permissible, proper, and just. All the while it will come back to you again and again, over and over. The world is indeed revolving around each and every one of you, haven't you noticed? Everywhere you go, the world is revolving around you. It is revolving around your reactions. As you begin to understand that you are in charge of your reactions, when you sit with them for a moment, and consider that there is only one reality that all of you are in together. You are all one. There is no separation between any of you. The reflections are everywhere. If you do not like the reflection, then see differently. If you wish to see happy people, you will find them. Look for them in the crowd. If you wish to see innocent people, certainly you will find them everywhere. Everywhere where your blessed gaze lands. There is innocence. Do you feel this about yourself? Or do you wish to punish? And for how much longer will you exercise this muscle? As you are choosing to reach the end of this drama for yourself, you will raise the curtain on a new scene, where there is peace and freedom as your expression and creativity as your natural state. And that your creativity is not limited to your artistic expression, rather it is opened up in an unlimited fashion to you understanding that you create how you feel from that which you are observing and experiencing. When you begin to trust this, and at first it will not be so easy to trust it, for you will feel that you are too uninvolved in your own life, that you must work harder, push harder, try harder, for that is what you have learned. As you begin to lay back a bit and be in your resonance, that is simply a feeling that you are now surrendering to joy within yourself and a kind of creativity that comes not from punishing yourself or trying to catch up, but rather the flowing of the eternal well and geyser of your life force that exists no matter what. And so you do not have to resist it. You may let it flow. It shall not harm anyone, for you do not mean harm to anyone. And it is within the intention that true harm lays. It is within the intention of true nurturing that produces and rebirths you. And you are in this reality. Continue, and you shall be all that you desire. Bless you.